If you're paying $5 an hour for overseas help and getting $5 an hour results, I need you to watch this video. The problem is never the global talent. The problem is you have no system to find, to filter, and hire global talent. Most real estate investors are doing one of two things. They're either drowning trying to do everything themselves, or they hired someone off a forum, onboarded them in 20 minutes, and then they wonder why the next 3 weeks they have to babysit them and they end up firing this person in 3 months. I've built a $3 million in gross profit land business from $30,000 in savings in less than 3 years. And right now I have a full team. I have lead managers, I have cold callers, I have marketing analysts, I have admins, and most of them are global talent. They're paid exceptionally well and they're very high performance. And they run departments without me having to be there. And today I'm going to show you the exact surgical hiring funnel that I use. And the thing about this funnel is by the time I read a resume, even if I do, I've already eliminated 90% of the people that would never fit. That's how good this system is. Let's build your global talent machine. And there's a filter inside this process that almost no one uses across the industry. It's the single biggest signal of whether a candidate will actually show up and follow instructions. And I'll show you exactly what it is in about 4 minutes. Quick context for you so you know this isn't theory. We do about 10 to 15 land deals a month. I run a team across Venezuela, Colombia, Egypt, South America, Nicaragua, Lima, Peru, Nashville. I've hired badly. I've learned exactly what badly looks like so you don't have to repeat it. What I'm about to do is give you the same process I walk my private coaching clients through that people pay me between $1,500 and $2,500 an hour for. We're going to look at the job post. We're going to look at the funnel. We're going to look at the filter. We're going to look at the interview format, all of it. And every time we tighten this process, the quality of the hire goes up dramatically, and the time that you have to spend as a CEO in your limited time goes down. Now, the framework is 5 stages, and I'm going to go through it right now. Stage number 1 is the job post. You want to stop writing job descriptions. No one reads them. No one qualified reads them anyway, and literally most people have an attention of a goldfish. So you want to make it a long-form sales page. You want to treat it like you are selling the role to the highest, best quality person. A lot of people, when it comes to global talent, they think, well, it's not that important. There's so many people from all over the world. Well, the difference between someone who's good and great happens in any country. It doesn't matter, right? So you want to post on LinkedIn in your target countries. Upwork, yes, we post on Upwork. Specific job boards within countries, whether it's South Africa, whether it's Egypt, whether it's Pakistan, wherever you are, there's job posts in those countries, and you can pay for it. You know, you can run it like a paid funnel if you're in or using LinkedIn. And your post needs to answer 3 things. Well, obviously, what's the role? What do we stand for as a company? And why would someone who is a high performer want this over anything else available? And be really clear on the outputs, the KPIs, and then the requirements of the specific position. Now, a little cheat code here is we've hired dozens and dozens of people. I like South Africa for sales and finance. I like Pakistan for tech and admin. I like Central and South America for ops and sales. I like Egypt, Nigeria, or Kenya for sales as well, specifically low dollar sales. And those are kind of the general places that we like to get talent from. In this post, like I was saying, you want to describe this compensation pretty clearly. You know, a good lead manager, global talent is probably worth anywhere between $1,200 to $1,800, maybe even $2,000 a month. If you pay $800 a month, you're going to get $800 results. If you pay competitively, you'll get access to a completely different caliber of person. I find, depending on the pay structure and the negotiation structure, the job market right now is in favor of employers. So you can put together really interesting variable pay packages for all global talent that makes so you can make sure that you're buttressing your cash flow. Stage number 2 is the application funnel. We like to use Typeform or Google Forms, kind of any form that takes the person off the platform and allows you to own it and syndicate it. I don't like to look at messages, and none of my hiring team members do as well. This is where I see a lot of people skip. They just literally post a job and then they manage the replies. We like to go to one syndicated place and have people fill out a series of questions within a Google form or a type form. Obviously, we want to know first name, last name, country, email, resume. I like to see a video. I have to see a video. We don't even consider applications without. You have to put a little Easter egg in there, which is basically like, hey, type orange is the first letter of this specific question. Get some other relevant questions around the form. But videos will tell me a lot. Availability, time zone, I like to see that as well. And expectations of a salary. There's always an expectation of a range that they want to be in. And sometimes people are asking for ridiculous numbers or way low. And you can see very quickly that they're not the right specific person for the job. I also like to see a screenshot of their internet speed test, like verify internet speed tests. This step alone will eliminate between 30 to 50% of your applicants, right? They don't have their background is really bad. They don't dress properly for it. They don't follow basic instructions. They don't upload the CV. Sometimes people will upload an audio versus a video, immediately eliminated. And then sometimes they don't follow the question, the Easter egg, right? Which is, hey, type orange, type gorilla, type something to make it seem so that they actually read the instructions, right? Stage number 3 is about skill verification. You can use platforms like Test Gorilla for specific cognitive skills. Team Architects is what I like to use for acquisitions or lead managers. Predictive Index for understanding who they are and whether or not they fit for the right role. People who pass through this role, maybe 30, 40, 50% of application, move on to this third step. And it's another test to see, hey, is this person worth our time? Now, the reason why we're going through all of these nuanced application steps is because, frankly, you don't have time, right? And so this allows you to focus on the highest probability of these people actually being the right fit, right? For a cold calling role, for example, I would test English proficiency, attention to detail, basic data entry. For a lead manager role, analytical thinking, things like that. Just basic stuff that you think go through, that are a part of the position. Role-specific scenarios, and you can build this candidate out. Now, this is not necessarily required. We do it with some candidates depending on the bandwidth that we have. Test Gorilla scores it for you. There's a couple other different types of testing apps that you can use, but it does filter down and make sure that you're not spending nearly as much time on filtering out these applications if you're a one-man band or one-woman band. So after the testing process, you can kick it to the group interviews, right? I usually do this with Global Talent because we get a lot of people that are in here, and me as a CEO, if it's a cold calling position or some other administrative position or marketing position, I'm looking for someone who's smart, hungry, and coachable, right? And in a group interview format, there could be 5 to 7 people, and it compresses 7 hours of work into an hour, right? Or 4 hours into 30 minutes. And as a founder, especially early on, I love to use the group interview format. And in my opinion, it's the best way to compress the time. And you just ask a series of questions. And really what you're looking for is someone who's proactive, who has a good command of the language. Obviously, for a role that's more administrative or operations oriented, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to see the right person perking up in these types of interviews. But still, we do this 5 to 7 candidates, 30 minutes all at once. And obviously, we let them know, hey, this is going to be a group interview. Sometimes people literally will not show up. And we don't want those types of people. Even if you're shy per se, you're more of an operations-oriented person. We want someone that's confident, that is willing to put themselves in uncomfortable situations, right? We're looking for that attributes versus just general skill sets. Because I can teach most people most skills in the land business, right? I'm looking for English fluency, the ability to articulate yourself. I'm looking for other interests. I'm looking for hunger. Are they learning? Are they leaning in? Are they checking out? Are they kind of not super present? Are they assertive? Even if you're an operations more introverted person, that could show up very quickly in an interview. In composure, right? Are you showing up with no camera on? I've never found a person who consistently turns their camera off during an interview that ends up being a good fit, right? They're always the people that are the most flaky, right? So these 7 candidates that maybe would have taken 3.5, 4 hours, we compress it down into 30 minutes, and we love doing this, right? More signal, less noise. So stage 5 is a final interview. So you might do this 2 or 3 times. You might have 15, maybe 20 total people that you run through this, or 25. And then you have your final individual interviews, which are more technical-based interviews, which are one-on-ones, just to get to know the person, figure out what their goals are, really ask them the hard-hitting question. This is a 20 to 30-minute cultural and role-specific conversation that you can have with them. We find this is really important at the end, and then we put them on a 30-day probationary period for whatever the position is. We're very clear, hey, 2 weeks is trial, 4 weeks is probation, because there is a lot of churn we found in global talent specific roles. Now, this is our global talent hiring protocol. Now, I don't even run this, right? So in many cases now, I have my chief of staff run this entire thing without me even looking at a single resume until the end. They run the whole thing, they walk through, they give me the recommendations based on the job protocol, based on our culture. Having all those cultural documents, a mission and vision is really helpful for you to be able to pinpoint this and actually delegate a lot of the responsibilities of this. Or you can just go with a talent sourcing agency. We have a talent sourcing agency that we really like working with. I'll leave a submission form in the description down below if you're interested in hiring a lead manager, transaction coordinator, EA, chief of staff, marketing manager, marketing analyst, whomever. I can leave that in the description down below. You can fill it out, kind of everything, and we'll put you in contact with them just for being a part of our community and our YouTube, right? So during those first 30 days, I'm watching for 2 things specifically. I'm watching for attendance. Are they showing up when they said they would every single day? And I'm watching for coachability. When I give them feedback in week 2, do they improve in week 3? And smart, right? So sometimes it's hard to figure out in an interview, is this person smart or not? Especially, some people are better at hiding their attributes in a good way or a bad way than others. And so if either of these things, coachability and attendance, drops in month 1, I've found it never improves. And so we cut very cleanly. We're very respectful. We communicate ahead of time that this is a probationary period, and then it's over, right? One of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of operators make is they spend 2 months hoping that someone turns around, or 3 months, and those 2 months could have been leveraging a better person, or those 2 months could be spent onboarding the right person and having them producing results. Your results in your business is directly proportionate to the aggregate intellectual capacity of your team, the horsepower, the hunger, the aggression, the energy, the enthusiasm of your team. So if you hire just order takers through global talent, and you don't use a process like this to actually filter them out, it's going to be a lot more difficult to actually build a sustainable business. So people say, oh, the market's difficult. Well, if you had a team of Elon Musk, you think the market would ever be difficult? And so you apply that same type of reasoning to your business. If you have the best people in the position set up in the way the simple land business is, you're going to build out a team of rock stars and all stars, and it will allow you to actually scale. So now you have the full surgical hiring funnel for global talent. I've hired dozens and dozens of people. Your job post, it's a long form sales post posted in 3-4 different places, specifically places in the country that you're trying to hire from. Your type form application. And then you can do a sort of testing, like Test Gorilla, for a skill assessment before any phone calls. Then you do group interviews. We're looking for people that are smart, hungry, and coachable. And then you do a 2-week, 30-day promotion. You want to hire slow, and you want to fire fast. But here's the thing. Having the right team means absolutely nothing if you don't have these systems for them to operate inside. If your business is chaos with no KPIs, with no pipeline visibility, with no defined SOPs, you're not ready to install global talent into it. You're just transferring your chaos into someone else. That's why the next video I want you to watch is the one I walk through the exact 6 KPI dashboard I use to manage my entire team. And I run a multi 7-figure land business with no guesswork, with no micromanaging, just the numbers telling me what's working and what isn't in my business. You can click the video right here, and I'll see you in it.